of SmartImplantSystems. We developed the company to engage in developing smart implantable systems to alleviate pain, follow patient progress through a transmission of data from these implants, transmit data and therapy to patients, and basically make spinal implants more successful. So the company founders are myself. I'm a physician, biomedical engineer. I founded 5 medical device companies. My last exit was a company out of the University of Minnesota, sold to a bigger company for $100 million. We raised $8.5 million through angels and $11 million from strategic investors. Took us 4.5 years. And before that, I founded another company called Apnicardia, which the technology was licensed to a large medical device company. The co-founder and the inventor is Dr. Nazmi Peyman. He's an interventional pain specialist with about 15 years of experience. Our chief technology officer is Dr. Najarian. He's a professor of engineering and an implantable design expert. We have Mr. Serafin Samson, who's a spine technology expert and a 15-year veteran venture capitalist. And our attorney, Jeff Robbins, who's basically a very savvy startup attorney. Our scientific advisors are Dr. Mark Riley, who basically founded Kyphoplasty, and he sold his company to Medtronic a few years ago. Dr. Gabor Rax, who's a leading interventional pain specialist. Dr. Dennis Privet, who's a co-inventor, spine surgeon, and Dr. Mark Reevy Cantwell, who's another spine surgeon. And we're adding more experts as we speak. So as you know, back pain market is a huge $100 billion market. And there's actually a lot more than $100 billion in indirect costs to our healthcare system and to our employers due to back problems. It's a growing market. 80% of the population at some stage in their life experience back pain. It costs $100 billion. It's mostly lumbar spine, and it costs employers roughly about $7.5 billion. And 70% of it is due to exacerbation. Spine implantable market is a very rapidly growing market. It would be a $6.4 billion market by 2024. And the spinal infusion market would surpass $1.6 billion by 2022. And as you can see, there are some large medical device companies active in the sector, and they're actively purchasing smaller companies for their new technologies. So basically, what we see is current technologies, spinal implants are not smart. They are passive implants that basically are implanted and do nothing after they're implanted. So the physician doesn't really know what's going on with these implants, and he can't also deliver therapy via these implants. So, and with the advent of all implantable sensors, we have sensors in all sorts of devices right now telling us what's going on inside the patient's body, in terms of glucose monitoring and blood pressure and heart failure and lung monitoring. So no implantable sensor technology exists to transmit therapy from spinal implants. So Dr. Nazmi has been treating patients with external radiofrequency treatment for years. So he decided that these invasive procedures could actually be replaced with implantable devices that can do the same thing with telemetry and without having to intervene inside the patient. So smart implant systems, we integrate sensors into our implants to generate heat, to denervate nerve, and bring pain relief, to transmit data from the implants, to basically say what's going on with these implants, to bring back the patient and monitor the patient. And the device is implanted at the target site to generate heat via radiofrequency, deals away with invasive periodic injections, decreases rates of infection, and deals away with repeat cortisone and other injections. So our product is basically fully implantable, developed by a pain specialist, and it's unique. And as you can see, implantable sensors can facilitate personalized medicine. And in the era of big data, where everybody wants to know what happens to the patients and how to collect data and disseminate and process data, we think this is a big move towards improving healthcare and improving patient outcomes. So as you can see, the implant consists of a first visit where the physician implants the device. Patient comes back for a follow-up, and therapy is delivered via a controller RF generator. So basically creates heat and treats the patient, and the patient may come back at some set intervals to be followed up. Why we're better than the competition? Because we deliver therapy to the patient. We can adjust delivery post-implant. We can adjust patient-specific parameters. We can receive patient data. We can transmit patient data, and we can collect, while our competitors can't do any of this. We have a very strong intellectual property. We have 2 patents granted in the field. We have 1 more application, and we have a lot more that we file, so they're in the works. In terms of commercialization, we want to develop the technology, and in terms of and then get it approved in Europe, in the United States, other parts. And our intention is to sell this technology to one of these big 4 companies that are the biggest players in the spine market. Regulatory pathway is a Class 2 device, 510K, Class 2 device in Europe, and we will do clinical evidence gathering post-implant. Financing, we need $850K to develop the first phase. Second phase, we need $5 million to basically get the device completed and approved in several geographies, and then basically sell the company to a commercial player. So in summary, the market is a very large market. It's growing, and we believe that we have our patents and our technology that we're developing would fit very nicely into the gap that exists in the physician's practice. And there are many financial liquidity options in this area in terms of commercialization, strategic investments, and approval is a simple 510K. Any questions, comments? That's it.